So I finally found time to do a video update. I know, I'm sorry that it's taken so long. I have been rather busy over the last couple of months. A lot of the work that I do, it takes quite a while to conclude, and you're not allowed to talk about it whilst it's in progress. So it can make updates, few and far between. I will try and make them more regular, as many things seem to be concluding at this point in time. Anyway, I think I'll start with an update on my case against my former university. So I attended a hearing on the 28th of February. I think it went quite well, although we were not going to have enough time to conclude what we needed to do within that time frame. So it's been adjourned until the 30th of June. Up until the 28th of February in that hearing, I was basically preparing for that along with my other activities, which we'll speak about in another video, apart from a couple of successes that I want to speak about. But yes, I was preparing for that, the skeleton argument, the e-bundle, and as a novice litigant in person with no prior experience of the legal system, knowing how to put this documentation together, how it should be structured, what needs to be contained, how you're supposed to write it, how you file it, what forms need to be filed, what the civil procedure rules are. It involves a lot of work and research, much more than what I was expecting, but it's great because I'm gaining so much knowledge and experience along the way. So for me, I'm finding it interesting, a little bit stressful, but it's also interesting, and I'm obviously still very confident in my chances of success. Otherwise, of course, I wouldn't have brought these claims forward in the first place. But if I'm honest, there isn't much exciting news in relation to my case against my former university for the discrimination against me as a white student and other white students until the 30th of June. However, this isn't my only activity. I think I've talked about my community interest company that I've been setting up. I'll talk about it in more detail, but as an update to that, we've overcome some major challenges. The new website is now in development, and I'm going to be going through a recruitment phase very soon. So if any of you nationalists out there have any analytical skills, if you'd like to be part of our research team, if you'd like to be one of our volunteers or just join the community, do let me know. You can message me on either one of these platforms as long as I'm not banned at one of those points in time. So I've been helping some other nationalists, as part of the multiple organizational strategy, and I'm obligated to help other nationalists if their objectives are aligned with my own. So I was helping these other nationalists create a political organization. I wanted the practice of putting together the governing documents and the applications and working with the Electoral Commission, and I wanted to test some things as well. And that's taken a couple of months. The first application that I helped put together was rejected, but I understand why. There were one inconsistency within the governing document, which was corrected. But it did raise some serious concerns for me, and another battle that I had to take on my hands, because it appeared that the Electoral Commission were putting in stipulations that would actually undermine the sovereign rights of the citizens of this nation. See, they wanted this political party to accept foreign nationals to be able to join. And of course, allowing foreigners to join our political parties and influence their policies, and obviously they would probably offer donations to these political parties, would undermine the sovereignty of our citizens and leave us open to foreign sabotage, and it is completely unacceptable. So I had to challenge them on this, and I threatened litigation against each one of them personally. I'll talk about why that's important when I come to multiple organizational strategies lawfare, but that will come in another video, otherwise this will end up a little bit long. But in the end, this political party became officially registered as of yesterday. So it is very possible you will get some pushback, but I think what's important when you're dealing with people that are either Marxists or brainwashed by Marxist ideology is to point out what their obligations and what their allowed authority is if they're overstepping it, and tell them that you will take action against them, that you will not accept it. You must challenge it at every opportunity. And it seems to work. I'm also on many personal justice campaigns. I think I've spoken about it in some of my voice notes that you may have heard, but I was subjected to a campaign of persecution for wishing to get justice against a Muslim paedophile rapist gang. And many different state institutions engaged in that persecution. And I've been seeking justice against them for quite some time. And they've now had to admit, because I was once given a false diagnosis of bipolar disorder, it's taken me 2.5 years of fighting and making them reassess. And they've admitted that no real assessment took place in the first place to give me that diagnosis, and that I never had that disorder in the first place. And they abused that diagnosis to try and discredit my criminal allegations against certain Muslim men that have been raping children. So now that I have proven that that was a misdiagnosis, I'm now pursuing legal action against the NHS for medical negligence, medical battery, and misfeasance, along with a few other charges and some violations of the Human Rights Act. And there are also 22 different institutions. I have to get to the end of the complaints process before I can take anything to court, which I am holding to account for their different actions of persecution, may it be false imprisonment, false allegations, or other activities, which I'm sure I will speak about in more detail when I get round to talking about my own personal experiences with the corruption of our government and the ongoing genocide of our people, and what it's like for a white person who has been victim to, well, multiculturalism and diversity, what it's like trying to seek justice as a white person. Anyway, that's enough updates for now. I'm going to give you more updates on, well, what I would call my personal improvement strategies, the community interest company, and the multiple operational strategy that I have for nationalists and for white people to regain some sort of semblance of, well, existence in their own countries. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks.